Hey, my friend, let me ask you something. When was the last time you heard the Cowboys had too many weapons on offense? I mean, for real. Because right now, that's exactly the kind of problem brewing in Dallas. And you know what? It's the kind of problem every team in the NFL wishes they had. Let's talk facts. The Cowboys have quietly assembled a group of playmakers that might just be the most explosive we've seen in the Dak Prescott era. And it all starts with one name: George Pickens. Pickens is that kind of wide receiver who doesn't just make plays, he changes the entire dynamic of an offense. And now, with him lined up opposite CeeDee Lamb, suddenly things start to look different, more dangerous, more unpredictable. CeeDee's going to benefit from the attention Pickens draws. Pickens is going to thrive thanks to Lamb's presence. And Jalen Tolbert, finally in his natural role as the WR3, that man is going to feast. But it doesn't stop there. You've still got Jake Ferguson now with more space to work the seams. Jaden Blue, a 4.28 speedster ready to burn DBs deep. And Kavontae Turpin, arguably the fastest man in the league who can line up in packages where all 6 of these guys are on the field at once. That's not a problem. That's a nightmare for defenses. So here's the question I want you to answer down in the comments. Do you think this is the most explosive group of weapons the Cowboys have had since the 90s? Vote now and tell me why or why not. And if you're hyped, just thinking about Dak tossing it to this crew, stick around. Because in the next chapter, we're going to dive into why all these weapons don't mean a thing if the offensive scheme isn't built to maximize them. Let's keep going. Now that we've talked about the weapons, let's get real about something else, because none of that firepower matters if the scheme is stuck in neutral. And last year, let's be honest, the Cowboys' offense looked predictable. Sure, they racked up points against weak defenses. But when it came time to face the real contenders, the 49ers, the Eagles, even the Packers in the playoffs, they got exposed. And that's not just about talent. That's about how you use it. We saw too many curl routes, too many checkdowns, too many plays where the defense knew exactly what was coming. It felt like the Cowboys were playing not to lose instead of playing to dominate. And that's a problem when you've got stars like CeeDee, Pollard, and Ferguson just waiting to make plays. But here's where it gets interesting. Brian Schottenheimer is no longer just a guy with the title of offensive coordinator. After a year of mostly deferring to Mike McCarthy's play calling this time around, he's reportedly getting more creative control. And believe it or not, that might be the key to unlocking this offense. Schottenheimer isn't known for being flashy, but he is known for building offenses that lean on play action, vertical shots, and pre-snap motion. And if you combine that style with the weapons we just talked about in Chapter 1, you might finally get an offense that doesn't go into hiding in the second half of big games. Let's throw this one to you. Do you trust Brian Schottenheimer to get creative and finally evolve this Cowboys offense? Vote in the poll and sound off in the comments. Coming up next, we're going to talk about the big picture, how this offensive explosion could finally take some heat off Dak Prescott, and what that means for his future in Dallas. Stick with me. All right, now let's shift the focus to the quarterback. Because no matter what weapons you add or what scheme you run, everything in Dallas still revolves around Dak Prescott. And let's face it, Dak's had to carry way too much on his shoulders these last few years. He's been the guy expected to bail the team out when the offense stalls, the guy who has to play near perfect just to keep Dallas in games against top-tier opponents. But what if that didn't have to be the case anymore? If this revamped offense does what it's supposed to, if it gets more explosive, more unpredictable, and more efficient on early downs, then Dak can finally stop pressing. He won't need to force throws into tight windows just to move the chains. He can let the game come to him. Think about it. Imagine a play-action pass on 2nd and 3, with Jalen Brooks streaking downfield, while Brandon Cooks runs a deep cross and Ferguson sneaks underneath. That kind of variety keeps defenses guessing. And it gives Dak easy throws, ones that let his playmakers do the work after the catch. That's the key. Take some of the mental burden off your quarterback. Let him play fast. Let him play free. And here's something to consider. When Dak is in rhythm, He's one of the most efficient quarterbacks in the league. The problem has always been when he has to do too much. So here's the question for you. If this offense clicks, can it finally let Dak be the best version of himself again? Or are we past the point of no? Return with him? Drop your thoughts in the comments and vote in the poll. Next up, we're flipping the script to the other side of the ball, because if you thought the offense has something to prove, wait until you hear what this new-look defense could become. Okay, here we go. The chapter that ties everything together. Let's talk about Micah Parsons. Right now, Parsons is without question the Cowboys' most dynamic and recognizable player. He's the face of the defense, the heart of the locker room, and one of the league's most disruptive forces. But here's the uncomfortable truth. His long-term future in Dallas isn't guaranteed. And if we're being real, the recent moves by the front office, or lack thereof, may be sending him a message. Micah watched Zach Martin's contract situation play out. He saw how things went with Amari Cooper, and more recently, how the Cowboys let guys like Tony Pollard walk without a fight. Even CeeDee Lamb's extension talks have been slow, so it's no surprise. Parsons is starting to speak out more, whether it's cryptic tweets, media jabs, or hinting at what he wants in his next deal. Let's be clear, he wants to get paid, and rightfully so. But the question is, are the Cowboys preparing to pay him like the elite game changer he is? Or are they hedging? Add in Mike Zimmer's arrival, which might limit some of the freedom Parsons enjoyed under Dan Quinn, and you can see why tensions could build if results don't come quickly. Now, don't panic. We're not saying Micah is demanding a trade or that the Cowboys are shopping him. But let's play the hypothetical game. If Dallas struggles in 2025, if the defense regresses under Zimmer, and if the front office doesn't budge on his contract, do you think Parsons sticks around? Let me know right now. If push comes to shove, would you trade Micah Parsons for a haul of picks and start fresh? Or do you lock him in as a Cowboy for life? Whatever it takes. Vote in the poll, and I want to see your thoughts in the comments. The truth is, the Cowboys are heading into one of the most pivotal seasons in recent memory. A changing coaching staff, a shifting roster, and the looming pressure of 3 massive contract decisions. And Micah? He might just be the first domino to fall.